I'm just in between games, viewers, and the takeover's back on. Hopefully, this one will go through and we'll see some money from it. And with the summer coming up, this could be quite interesting if this does go through, because they're one about floating the club on the stock exchange and bringing some lucrative funds into the club. Well, we'll wait and see what lucrative is. I mean, it's got to go through first, but fingers crossed. This could be a game changer for the fortunes of Hull City AFC. But I'll leave it there for now. And as you'll see, this t-shirt is about to magically disappear. The t-shirt has changed, viewers. Not that you notice unless I point it out clearly. But you join me back now for the Millwall game at home. We're very close to the end of the season now. I think the playoffs are definitely over. I don't think there's any way we're getting around this now. I mean, 12 points off the playoffs with 4 games to go, so we have to win every game and then hope everyone above us loses. It ain't going to happen. But if we have a strong end to the season, that'll be a really good building block for next season, where we will try and push for the playoffs once again with the right recruitment in the summer. Since you've been away, we played 2 games. We've stole 3 points from West Brom, quite frankly. It was unbelievable how we've ended up with anything from that game. They absolutely dominated us on the day. Possession, shots, everything. They were just unbelievable, and we've stole 3 points from there. We've had a 0-0 draw away to Bristol City, who are at the bottom end of the table. We'll play Millwall today. We're another lower team. Hopefully we can pick up 3 points today, just to have a strong end to the season. We've only got 4 games left, so we're very close now. If we can go undefeated to the end of the season, I think that's a really good end to the season and a really strong building block for the summer and to start next season. This is the team for today. We've got Long and Go, Pennington at right back, Device and Beck in the centre, Nigh at left back, a midfield 2 of Kane and Stewart. Behind the striker we've got Lewis Potter, Scott in the centre and Madison out on the right with Weirdan's up front. You join me at kick-off. We've had the first shot on target in the first 10 minutes. We're absolutely dominating possession here. Move this down a little bit so we can see how we're getting on the table. Although Heavy Kane's picked up a yellow card already, we've had no real highlights at the moment. 30 minutes gone, still nothing. First highlight of the game though comes to Millwall with a corner, and it's cleared off the line by Pennington. Great bit of defensive play to have him on the post there and get it straight off the line, otherwise that would have been 1-0 Millwall, which would have been disastrous. Going up to half time, you can tell this is a nothing game towards the end of the season. Although worryingly, Device has picked up an injury, so Tafazoli will come on. What's that? A potential foot injury, so I'm assuming that'll be some sort of broken foot, I would suspect, if he's come off straight away. But Tafazoli comes on just before half time to join us for the second half. Early highlight to us, Scott. What can he do? Madison brings it forward. Will he have a go? He gives it back to Pennington. Kane into Burke. Across to Tafazoli. Looks for Nigh, gets there. Gives it back to Stewart. Just keeping the ball in a good bit of passing play. Just can't seem to break the Millwall team down at the moment. Kane back into playing around the centre. We found a gap. Lewis Potter, can he exploit it? Gets the ball in, deep cross, and Madison can't get there, but it ends up back at Pennington's feet. Gets across, and Lewis Potter meets the header for his 7th goal of the season. What a bit of play that was for a build-up. I'd love to know how many passes away, but poorly headed away by Millwall. But Pennington pounces on the loose ball, gets a great crossing, and Lewis Potter rises above the defender and gets for his 7th of the season, makes it 1-0 to Hull City. Great start to the second half, moving us up to 11th in the table. Marcus Maddison picks up his 5th booking of the season, so he'll probably be, I think he'll be suspended next game now. I don't think those reset in January. Millwall break though, gets in behind the defenders and it's 1-1. Long ball up top, gets in behind the centre backs. The striker runs off and just slips the ball into the net. Long ball, it was tough as early, it was just a little bit far forward, and 2 yards back he'd have probably got that ball away, but 1-1. Tell them to get creative. Been inspired by that feedback. Make a change after this highlight. Goal kick comes straight to us. Stewart in the centre, back to Tappers. Gives it back to Long. What will he do? Into the centre. Scott picks it up. Stewart, Tappers again. Paul Ball gives it straight away, and the same ball gets in behind, but thankfully 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Millwall can't convert the chance. I think we'll make a tactic just before the corner, make the sub. I'm not seeing anything away dance today, so we'll bring Gale on, put him to a poacher so he can chase the balls down. Bring Kane off so he doesn't get a second booking for Lopez. And that's the end of the highlight. Try and move a bit more attacking. Ask them to shoot on sight. Hopefully if we can pepper the goal, they can one will find its way across the line, although we've had no highlights really again in the second half since the Millwall goal, and it's coming up to full time, and I think that'll be it. And it is. Okay. We've had so many shots here. 23 to their 7, 13 targets to their 5, and 70% possession, and we end up with a 1-1 draw. Just one long ball has done us. Tafazo was just a couple of yards forward, and the ball's got in behind him, and he couldn't do anything about it. The big worry is Jordy Device here, of how long is he going to be out for. Thankfully, viewers, it's not too bad. He's out for a twist ankle. That's his season done with. But 4 to 5 weeks, we'll leave it to the physio, and he'll join us back in pre-season. Angel Hottie spotted cake on. There's a lot of interest in Lewis Potter as well, I'm noticing, so I think it'll be an interesting summer, see how we get on with him and see if we keep him or not. We'll leave it there for now, and if you join me back again in a minute for the Wigan game, see if we can pick up 3 points. Welcome back to the game against Wigan. This is the team for today. Long at the back, Hudson's come back in at right back as Pennington switched to centre back for the injured Device. He's playing alongside Beck with Lehigh at left back. A midfield two of Kane and Irvine. Behind the striker is Lewis Potter, Scott and Maddison, with Balog up front returning. We've not played Balog for a while up front on his own, so he may be the key to try and getting us some goals at the moment. We're underway against Wigan in the penultimate. 5 minutes in, nothing happening at the moment. No real highlights, just Wigan have had one shot, but we've got absolutely dominated the possession as per usual, but we're not making any chances. Everyone's looking okay. This again is a very quiet end of the season game at 31 minutes to have the first tie, which comes to Wigan. They bring it into the centre, but Pennington gives it back to Long, looks for the long ball up to Balog. Comes to Madison, back to Balog, into Scott, sorry. Balog runs across, Irvine. Great ball out wide, Lewis Potter skips past his defender. Back into the centre. What can we do? Maddison, Hutton, it links up again. Hutton with a good ball in. Lewis Potter's there to meet it. That's another goal for Lewis Potter, his 8th of the season. Good bit of play to lead up to the goal. Is that another header for Lewis Potter? Maddison, Hudson with a great ball across here, and Lewis Potter meets it with the header. For a player that's about 5, I think he's 5'10", he really does score some headers for us in this team. Really good way to start the game in the first half. Nearly coming up to half time, no more highlights at the moment. Maddison, deep free kick, It's headed away by Wigan. Try and launch the counter attack. There's two players on him, dispossess him into the centre, out to Maddison. But it's dispossessed. Wigan again come forward, look for the long ball, and it's reached. Long comes out and smothers the ball to keep it 1-0 to Hull City. Lewis Potter dispossessed and then gets the ball back again. We keep the ball in the midfield. Kane, Pennington looks for a long ball, but that's headed away by Wigan. They now do look for their own long ball, which is worked, and it's 1-1. The long ball every time seems to get us. We may have to look at the how high this defensive line is playing, because the long ball every time seems to get us. Just Pennington gets beaten there by the striker, and it's slotted onto George Long to make it 1-1 just before half time. When you look at the stats, so Wigan have deserved it. Corner to Wigan, unmarked header, but it's pinballed off the defence. But again, get the ball back in, and it's come to half time now. I think we need to tell them we're not happy. It seems to fire them up a bit. Wigan have had 2 clear-cut chances and we've had none. Hutton, Berg, who's dispossessed in a dangerous area, and Wigan have made us pay. Reece Baird just dilly-dallied on the ball. He's lost possession. He doesn't know what to do with it there, and Wigan have totally made us pay. I mean, they have deserved it because they've been the better team stats-wise, but Reece Baird with another mistake. He's made quite a few this season. Wigan with a poor goal kick. Maddison, Berg, out wide to Hutton, who chases the ball down. Can he get a cross in? He's got the ball back. Lewis Potter there to meet with a header, and it's headed straight into the keeper's grasp. Wigan now get the ball into the defence, but Kane heads the ball to Irvine. Maddison, he's giving it to Hutton. What can he do? Scott, who's unleashed a good effort there, but it's come off the crossbar. All highlights in the second half. Another poor Wigan goal kick. Gives it straight to Hutton. I thought Bert was going to give the ball away again then. Lewis Potter can't get to George Long's free kick, and Wigan launch the counter attack. They square the ball, and it's 3-1. They're absolutely running us ragged today, Wigan, at the back. Lewis Potter he's waiting for the ball, doesn't see the Sterling coming, who in a 3-on-3 squares it just ahead of the defender, and they've scored again to make it 3-1. Need to make some form of change here. Bring Wilkes on. I'm going to bring Berkoff as well because he's having a poor game. Wigan with a deep free kick. Long ball again, and it's got in behind. And I thought that was going to be the 4th goal. The long ball is just killing us every time it comes. Another deep free kick to Wigan. Another long ball. And a good save by George Long. That long ball every time. What do we do here? We'll try and focus this play down the right as well, because this is where we seem to be the most dangerous. Wigan with a corner. Still got the ball though, we haven't cleared our lines just yet. Although a poor cross has led to a Hull City goal kick. Pennington, Tafazoli, Irvine, putting it forward, Wilkes. In the centre now, Nigh, out to Lewis Potter, loses the ball again, but Irvine's picked up the loose ball. And we played it straight back to the keeper. Wigan are just pressing us all the time, they're just not creating any space. Hutton into Wilkes, who somehow still got the ball. Can he get the cross in? Lewis Potter can't meet the header. And again, the long ball, 1-on-1, it's 4-1. The long ball is just, again, just in behind. 4-1, great finish again. I can't believe this is, we're losing 4-1 away. He's got all 4 goals as well. That is unforgivable. So much for looking strong here today. Lehigh, Scott, Lewis Potter, Irvine, Pennington. The thing is, I worry every time there's a highlight that Wigan are just going to play a long ball and break and score. Because we've had again, it's another poor ball. But Lewis Potter's doing his best, but chasing down the keeper, no. Wigan again with the ball, another long ball, but Pennington is finally clicks on to what's going on and clears it. Irvine, again, this is a long highlight. Hutton, who's got the ball, knocks it past the defender. Lewis Potter's there, and it's gone way over that, way over the bar. Bring Wade on, see if I mean, at this point, I don't think there's really any point in trying to do anything. We'll just give him some time. We've been absolutely outclassed here today by the long balls. We've just not been able to cope with Wigan. I mean, that sums it up. 17 shots from 32% possession. Shocking. Absolutely. A 10-minute hat-trick as well. All round. Going to be aggressive with them. I think that the defence is somewhere we really need to improve next season. I know I highlighted it earlier this season, but I think it's really just proved these last few games of how poor we are defensively. We just can't concentrate enough for 90 minutes. We'll leave that there and we'll come back for the final 2 games of the season, and then we'll look ahead to next season. If you have enjoyed what you've seen today, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow.